Yeah, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. This is Naaman with the DC Camp, branch of Great Millstone. Back for another video, but first and foremost, a call hello Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakah Kwadash, and of course, once again, double honors go out to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations also go out to the fellow Akim that are out there on the highways and the byways, pushing the truth across the four corners of the earth, aided, of course, by numerous amounts of videos that are posted for everyone's edification. All right, if they choose to take it as such. All right, and this is what we're called to do. All right, per Ezekiel chapters 2 and chapter 3. All right, and Habakkuk 2nd chapter. All right, we're the watchmen. All right, watching out for our people, or trying to wake them up. All right, so that they'll repent and get ready. Hey, time is very short, people. All right, because this guy that's in the White House now, he's the right one. I don't know if you heard in his latest interviews that he's done with the press, but I mean, he's letting it all hang out. All right, but in this case, this for those of you that, first of all, let's get this out of the way before I forget. I get to rambling on. This is the copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use, all right, for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. However, nonprofit, educational, and personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. All right? So, yeah, so here it is. These people are extremely and have always been jealous of our people because they are not us. All right, and this video is going to go into that, and then I'm going to give you the reasons why we had to suffer through this. Here we go.
This is what a MAGA mind is.
Brand spanking new Lexus SUV. How is that possible?
Jake, simply by owning a good vehicle, makes them mad. Think about that. I'm sure you've heard them criticize, oh, he got to be dealing drugs or some other stupid shit. All right, only because they fell short in life. And you have to understand, this is the mindset of an Edomite here in America. Because they were always taught that growing up, if you're not better than a so-called black person, then you're a failure. It also lets you know the reasoning behind sabotaging our success throughout the time that we've been here in America. All the communities that were destroyed, sabotaged at every point, at every turn, we were sabotaged.
Integrate into the same neighborhood that I worked my entire life to get into. I don't understand it.
Listen to this.
There he is, right there.
That guy right
It's what Make America Great Again has always meant to certain people. It's never been about patriotism. It's always been about hierarchy, about making sure black people stay in a place that makes them comfortable. Because let's be honest, imagine living in a country where 400 years you receive every privilege available.
Yes.
Free labor for almost 2 centuries, millions of acres of free land through the Homestead Act, government assistance when black folks were excluded, white veterans received GI Bills, attended college when black veterans who served the country faithfully did not, white homeownership through FHA loans that black people didn't get while black families were redlined into poverty. There was affirmative action for white folks long before the phrase was ever even created. Let me name a few more. tax.
The brother out in LA several years ago did a wonderful video. I wish I had a thought to try to track it down and repost. But she used it in the it was in the form of a relay race. All right, and it showed how, all the opportunities that they have that we did not, and they had such a head start. All right, and yet, Jake is Jake. What is that, Jeremiah? Let me get it real quick. Let's see. It's that spirit that, let's see, is it 50 or 51? Let's try 51. The other destruction of Babylon, all right. Let's see. Here it is. Verse 19, Jeremiah 51:19. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. So despite us getting our asses kicked, and we were given over to that, okay, you can read all the scriptures, the curses and all that. And I was just going to point you to Ezekiel 23rd chapter, all right, idolatry and all that. So it's not like we haven't deserved this ass kicking. Oh, we did, all right. In fact, there's a scripture that says we deserve worse than what we're getting. All right, it says the Most High, Yahweh, the Lord of Hosts, is His name. All right, so because it told you that we were warned so many times that you keep doing this, you keep going on, you keep worshiping these gods of the other nations, you keep just pissing the Most High off. Eventually, what happened? Jeremiah 17:4. Everything was stripped. Even the name of the Most High was taken from us. Here we go. But these people have had all these centuries of a head start. Why are you mad at us? Because it goes to the character or lack thereof, all right, of the people that are over us. Job 30th chapter, I recommend you read it, all right. Daniel 4:17. The Most High gave us over to the lowest of the low. All right. This is why, for you idiots out there, namely you Christians and even some of you that know that you're Israelites, you're playing these games. All right. We are never meant to be around these people. There are no redeeming qualities when it comes to an Edomite. That's why they're going to be eventually, per book of Obadiah, going to be rounded up, all right, and exterminated from off the face of the earth.
Benefits, union protections, government contracts, Social Security programs that originally excluded black labor, corporate subsidies, banking systems built on predatory denial of black access, policing designed to guard white prosperity, and the unspoken privilege of always being seen and deserving, and all that.
Yes, because even to this day, another use for the police department is to enforce segregation. Think about it. All right, there was a case here in D.C., I believe it was in 75, that set like the president. All right, there were some people living in, I believe they were renters, I think, up here on Georgia Avenue, and I think it was Lamont, for those of you that are familiar with the city, northwest here. And some home or dwellings broken into, and they suffered violence. And but before that, the police were called. The police came, and they were in a situation where they could not answer, all right, without, revealing their whereabouts to the intruder. And there was a big case over that, and it came out that the police said, well, we're not obligated to protect you. And you have to wonder, well, what's all this serve and protect? Well, it's not, it doesn't mean what you think it means. All right, but yeah, they're definitely not here for our people. All right, I got to look that case up now that I think about it. Hold on here just 1 second. Let me put you on pause here. Here it is. Salakia. So the case is Warren v. District of Columbia. All right, and like I said, it was 75, and this is the court case in 1981. All right, and it goes, Warren v. District of Columbia, once again, is a district court of appeals case that held that the police do not owe a specific duty to provide police services to specific citizens on the public duty doctrine. All right, and it goes into the procedural history. In separate cases, Carolyn, here are the people that were sued. This is Carolyn Warren, Miriam Douglas, Joanne Taliaferro, and Wilfred Nicole sued the District of Columbia and individual members of the Metropolitan Police Department for negligent failure to provide adequate police services. The trial judges held that the police were under no specific legal duty to provide protection to the individual plaintiffs and dismissed the complaints. In a 2-1 decision, the District of Columbia Court of Appeals determined that Warren, Taliaferro, and Nicole were owed a special duty of care by the police department and reversed the trial court rulings. In a unanimous decision, the court also held that Douglas's failure to fit within the class of persons to whom a special duty was owed and affirmed the trial court's dismissal of her complaint. The case was reheard by an en banc, whatever, let's see what that means. That was the first time hearing of that. Excuse me. Let's see what that means. En banc, it says in law, en banc, alternatively, en banc and banco. Session is when all judges of a court sit to hear a case, not just one judge or a smaller panel of judges. For courts like the United States Courts of Appeals, in which each case is normally heard by a 3-judge panel instead of the entire court, an en banc review, I hope I say that right, is usually used for only very complex or important cases or when the court believes there is an especially significant issue at stake. I wonder what that issue would be. Because you see, on the side of all your police vehicles, what's it say? To protect and to serve, right? But who? All right, you can put this in the this link, of course, in the description box. You can read it at your own leisure, but I just had to verify that to you since I brought it up. I don't know, it's what we do here. Don't like to just throw things out there without showing you where they came from. All right. So, back to the matter at hand. All right. Why black success equals white failure? These people are just sorry. They're pitiful, but these are the people that hold the power over us. All right, yet and still. All right, so they have made it clear that they never intend to right the wrongs that they perpetuated against us. I hope you figured it out by now. So all this talk about, reparations and all that, we're never going to get that. Our reparations is Revelation chapter 13, verse 10, all right? And it's happened, per Deuteronomy 30 and 7. All those curses that were put on us are being put on them now, all right? So let's go back to the video.
For generations. And yet here we are. After everything designed to hold us back, we still here.
Yeah.
It makes them a failure. We're still educating ourselves, still building businesses. It makes them a failure. Still growing wealth, still buying homes, still pulling up in our Lexuses.
Yeah, because they just, oh, man. It pisses him off. Here it is, this guy minding his own damn business, this Jake, And they are pissed. You got to know they said in their mind, God, these are niggers. These are the people that we held in slavery. All right? In chattel slavery. All right? We did any and everything we wanted to, with them and to them. And look at this. And she's going to get to the local area here, the DMV, or PG County, where it's, affluent Jakes. I think it's the wealthiest county in America as far as when it comes to Jake. Here we go.
That makes them a failure. We still thrive in the ways this country has never planned for us to thrive. And it makes them feel like failures.
Yes.
Because that's what they are. That's why it bothers them. Because to them, our success is what it is. It makes them failures. They feel better when they can look down on us. They feel safer when we have to struggle. They feel whole when we are broken. So when they say make America great again, what they are really saying is let's go back and reset the hierarchy. Let's put them back in.
Exactly, for you idiots. All right. That thought you were doing something. Both parties are in this together. And these Jakes think, they had one rally I was looking at during the days up until the presidential election. This is like maybe during the summer of 24. And you had these stupid ass Jakes with a head on their shirts, niggers for Trump. And you had this one Edomite woman, this guy, he's, in front of the camera and shit, and she wanted to laugh her ass off. Stupid fucks. But, I mean, wow. And I still, people still to this day allowing themselves to get played by this system. All right, thinking that there's legitimate opposition here. All right. Our people are, some of them just gone.
Their place, which is beneath us. Let's strip away any progress that they've made. Let's take away all their rights, all their opportunities,
yes,
all the wins that make them feel equal.
Do away with all the proper teaching of history. In other words, just telling the truth. Now that's, I don't want to say against the law. Yeah, actually, in some cases it is. It's like, what's up with that? Again, exposing them as hypocrites and liars. All right, this is a classic Habakkuk 2:16. Shameful spewing. All right, let's get there real quick. This is what they don't want: the truth. All right, Habakkuk 2:16. Let's see. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. All right. The cup of the Most High's right hand shall be turned unto thee. All right. Per Lamentations 4:20 and 21. Those last two verses in that chapter. All right. All of this, you're being exposed for the piece of shit that you are, and they can't handle it. All right, but the world has already seen it. All right, and don't worry, it's not going to stop. All right, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. All right, and this is what they've been trying to prevent. They want to, make America great, bring it back to like the 50s when they were at the height. All right. Everybody looked at these, especially Americans. I mean, you can make an argument for, the British and, all those other ones, but we're particularly talking about America now. All right. What was the British? What was the quote about what the sun never sets on the British Empire? Okay, we'll see. All right. Continue.
Equal. Because for us to feel equal, it makes them feel like failures.
Yes.
Because they've had every advancement known to man, and yet here we are, and that's why our excellence.
This is why Trump brought those nasty motherfucking South Africans over here. That is why, because they were living in squalor. These weren't successful farmers and shit that they lied and told you that. No.
This is so powerful, y'all, because every time we disrupt a narrative they depended on for 400 years,
Yes.
every time we win and we break the system that was never designed for us.
That's an important part, our point, that is, all right, exposing the narrative, all right, for the lie that it is, the lie that it always has been. These people are weak. This is the, and it's biblical. Like we've been trying to tell you people, this is that envy at the base of it when you go to Genesis 4th chapter. All right? This is spiritual. Yes, 3rd chapter also, but my point being in the 4th. All right? And in fact, let's go there. And then it came back and was reinforced in Genesis 25. Okay, Cain and Abel, when you understand what's really going on here. All right? Because Abel was killed and then Seth was born. All right? But what happened here? When we go down here to 14, I encourage you to read up until that point. I'm just going for time's sake. I'm going straight to it. All right. In fact, I might start at 12. Because that was the curse. All right. Because we know Cain killed Abel. All right. 11. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. All right. And this is what he is. He hasn't paid for the things that he has done. All right. And Cain said unto the Most High, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be healed. So from here at this point, and this is when he is, because when you go into this second phase here, all right, it goes into succor. All right, he has been cast out. All right, there is at this point, from this point on, there is, all right, no hope. All right, this is it. All right, it says, from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth, and it shall come to pass that every one that findeth me shall slay me. All right? And this is the Most High saying, therefore whosoever slayeth Cain, because he's being preserved, or had been, for something very special. There was a task for him to do. All right, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. What do you see happens? All right, whenever someone does anything to these devils, it's taken to the extreme, right? And vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Most High set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. He's being preserved for that. That's something special. All right. And it's coming time to where it says in 2 Thessalonians 2nd chapter, let's get that real quick. All right. I think it's 7. Let the man of lawlessness. All right. So this is Cain coming back in the guise of Edom in Genesis 25th chapter. And from that point on, all right, this is who has troubled us. All right. Ultimately, this is who the Most High put us in the hands of for our disobedience. All right. Let's start at 3. It says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition or destruction. All right. Who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High. Who is that? They swear you in when you go to court. Raise your right hand, place your left hand on the Bible. Blah, 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 blah. Which you're not supposed to do, by the way. Swearing. And then they cast the scriptures to the side and bring out their own bullshit. Codes, laws. All right, and the very flag that you have in there is on the maritime law with their version of the fringes. Yeah. So he's telling you that, all right, his laws and commandments surpass the Most High. All right. Who is this telling you? Who, man, people just, who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worship, so that he, as the Most High, sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. Now, where else is this found? Almost verbatim. Isaiah 14, right? The 5 eyes. I will do this. I will ascend above the throne. Blah, blah, blah. It's right here. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. And now ye know that withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time. 7. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. There is an expiration date for this damn devil, and we're quickly approaching it. That's the point of me bringing this out. All right, he thinks, as it says in Psalms 49:11, all right, that this is going to continue forever. All his monuments. All right, he thinks he's going to, what was the expression? All the other kingdoms have had this 250-year mark that they could not pass. He thinks he's going to be the exception. All right, continuing on.
Succeed. Every time we shine, we expose the weakness of a structure built on stolen labor, stolen land, and stolen wealth. It's their failure. This is why our success is revolutionary. It's not just about your car, your house, or your lifestyle. It's a reminder that despite every barrier placed in our way, we still here, thriving, winning, and redefining greatness in our terms. And they're still what they are. Failures. Now drop a black fist in the comments and share this with someone who needs...
Well, don't do that because that's paying homage to, what's that god? Oh, man, that Hamite shit with the raised fist. I forgot the name now. But yeah, let's get some comments. How did, the first one, top, how did they fumble a 400 or 500 year head start? Third one says, and still I rise. I think that's, what's her name? The poet. God dang it. I can't believe her name escapes me now. But anyway, y'all know who I'm talking about. I drove my Mercedes to work. My boss cut my overtime. Still rolling. This our biggest flex ever. They had a 500 years cheating head start, and we still here striving and thriving. They did literally everything to block and hinder us. All right? And so tired personally of that black stuff. We're Israelites. All right? There is no, and I had another video. God, I forgot to do a video. That just reminded me. Totally amazing. Jealousy is what motivates their hatred. They don't want to see us successful and happy. What a sad group of people. Like I said from the onset, these people are pitiful. And they know it. All right, constantly, Jake ain't even, for the most part, even after all we've been through, not even thinking about these motherfuckers, but we are always on their mind. Now you know why, if you didn't already. All right, so with that, I'm going to cut it short. Hope whoever reviews this is edified. That's what we do here at Great Millstone. And with that, once again, along with this very topic here, keep your head on the swivel. Be circumspect. All right. Be aware of your surroundings and who you're around. Wink, wink. All right. So to the next video. Shalom.